The national media is trying to convince you that the NFL completely rigged this schedule to destroy the Denver Broncos right out of the gate. But those talking heads are entirely blind to the hidden advantages buried deep in this lineup that guarantee we are going to run away with the AFC yet again. Get ready, because I am about to expose the shocking truth about how this season is an absolute one-way ticket to a Super Bowl victory. Before we expose this massive schedule advantage, make sure to smash that like button, share this video with every Broncos fan you know, and subscribe for the absolute best coverage on YouTube. Look, you have pundits like Colin Cowherd screaming from the rooftops that the league office is intentionally sabotaging Denver with a brutal opening stretch. That could not be further from reality. If you look at the cold, hard data, whether you measure it by last year's win percentages or what the Vegas odds makers are projecting for this year, our strength of schedule sits squarely in the middle of the pack. Yes, there are some heavyweight fights early on, but we have mind-blowing advantages in almost every single one of them. The NFL didn't screw us over, they actually handed us a massive, glittering gift. I am talking about the total rest differential. In this league, rest is a weapon. More rest means better performance and fewer injuries. And this season, our squad has a net positive of 3 extra rest days compared to our opponents. Anytime we are in the green on that rest chart, I am ecstatic. We might not have the massive rest advantages of the Bears or the Bills, but we have exactly what we need. Meanwhile, the team that actually terrifies me the most, the Los Angeles Chargers, assuming Rashawn Slater and that offensive line stay healthy, got absolutely hosed by the schedule makers. They have an astonishing -24 rest differential. They have to play 4 different teams coming straight off a bye week, including an absolute gauntlet of playoff contenders like the Patriots, Texans, and Raiders. That is the unluckiest schedule drawn up in the last 2 decades. Does anyone actually believe the league office could somehow outsmart Sean Payton when he has extra time and rest to prepare his roster? Let's tear into these matchups, starting with Week 1 on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a dream scenario. Zero pressure on us, all the pressure on them. Kansas City has been hemorrhaging defensive talent because they simply cannot afford to pay everybody. They shipped off Trent McDuffie, an all-pro who completely locked down the secondary, and replaced him with a brand new rookie corner. Imagine throwing a rookie into his first ever NFL game to cover Jalen Waddle, Courtland Sutton, and Marvin Mims. We are going to absolutely feast on that secondary. Plus, Sean Payton is undefeated on Monday Night Football since arriving in Denver, and we just mollyhopped the Bengals on that same stage. And let's not forget the biggest storyline: what percentage of a healthy Patrick Mahomes are we even going to see in Week 1? He is rushing back from injury in record-breaking time. Plus, traveling to Kansas City before the wear and tear of the season sets in doesn't hurt nearly as much. Then, Week 2, we march back into the altitude to host the Jacksonville Jaguars. Our guys have been begging for this rematch. Jacksonville was the only team to beat us by more than a touchdown last year, and defenders like Alex Singleton, Nick Bonitto, and Jacksonville native Pat Bryant have an enormous chip on their shoulders. Singleton explicitly said he cannot wait to play them again. The Jaguars will be coming off a brutal, physical Week 1 home opener against the Browns. We all know modern NFL teams go through a milquetoast preseason where nobody plays full games, meaning players enter the regular season lacking elite cardiovascular conditioning. Jacksonville is going to fly 4 hours, completely unconditioned, straight into 5,280 feet of elevation. They lost Travis Etienne, they lost a phenomenal starting defensive tackle, and we are going to run them right out of the building to avenge last year's loss. Furthermore, none of our first 4 opponents have new coaching staffs, meaning Sean Payton can scheme perfectly based on existing tape. Week 3 brings the Los Angeles Rams to town for Sunday Night Football. Everyone is sweating this one, but look at the context. The Rams did acquire Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, which is a great pickup for them, but they are coming off a painfully short week. They will have just played a grueling Monday night game against a physical Giants defensive line that is going to batter Matthew Stafford. Before that, they will have traveled all the way to Australia to play their division rival, the 49ers. They are going to be jet-lagged, battered, and out of sync. Meanwhile, Bo Nix turns into an absolute superhero whenever he plays an NFC team at home. Last year people doubted him against the Cowboys and Packers, and he made them look foolish, proving the AFC is just a vastly superior conference. Week 4, we hit the road to face Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and the San Francisco 49ers. It sounds scary, but I see Sean Payton using this West Coast trip as a massive team-building experience, just like he did in London and Tampa Bay. Honestly, I do not trust Brock Purdy. Outside of Christian McCaffrey, who on that offense actually strikes fear into your heart. Jawan Jennings is gone. Brandon Ayuk is gone. Ricky Pearsall has been a complete non-factor. On the other side of the ball, Dre Greenlaw and that defense are aging rapidly. They will be looking past us, expecting an easy home win, and we will catch them sleeping. Question of the day for everyone watching right now: drop a comment below and tell me exactly which rivalry game on this schedule you are looking forward to dominating the most. Now we enter the true AFC bloodbath. Week 5, we stay out on the West Coast to finally exorcise our demons against Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. Bo Nix needs this head-to-head win because he hasn't beaten Herbert straight up yet. But the stars are perfectly aligned. The Chargers have practically zero home field advantage. SoFi Stadium is always dripping in Broncos orange. Even better, they will be coming off back-to-back exhausting road trips to Buffalo and Seattle. They will be drained from the cross-country travel, and we will take over their stadium. We then fly home for a Thursday night football showdown against the Seattle Seahawks. Historically, the home team on Thursday night wins nearly 70% of the time. Seattle will be fatigued after facing the Chargers and 49ers back-to-back. They lost Kenneth Walker and are relying on a rookie running back. Plus, I simply do not trust Sam Darnold to come into our stadium on a short week and survive that hostile environment. After that Seattle game, we get a beautiful 10-day mini-bye to heal up before heading to the desert to face the Arizona Cardinals. This is a spectacular gift. Arizona is an absolute dumpster fire. Outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. and rookie running back Ashton Janty, there is zero talent on that roster. They don't even know who their quarterback is. As we've seen, relying solely on a rookie running back is a recipe for disaster. We follow that up by coming home to sweep the Kansas City Chiefs and end their misery for the season. Andy Reid's squad missed the playoffs last year, and they will be staggering into Denver after a vicious, bruising game against Seattle. Bo Nix is literally a blocked field goal away from being completely undefeated against the Chiefs in his entire career. We live completely rent-free in the minds of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Week 9, we travel to Carolina. Bryce Young is barely tall enough to ride the bumper cars, let alone see over our defensive line. Sean Payton has never lost to an NFC South team since taking over in Denver. He knows that division inside and out. The Panthers somehow won that weak division, but they will be exhausted from playing the Packers the week prior. Then, the football gods smile upon us with a perfect Week 10 bye. Seahawks coach Mike McDonald said it best: a Week 10 bye is a divine gift from the football gods. You don't want a Week 5 bye when you aren't even tired yet. Coming out of the bye, we host the Las Vegas Raiders. No one wants to face Sean Payton with 2 weeks of prep time. The Raiders might have shocked the Patriots in Foxborough Week 1 last year, which ironically handed us the number 1 seed, but by Week 11, they will be falling apart. Kirk Cousins will likely be benched, leaving poor Fernando Mendoza to face our wrath. They will be fresh off a bruising game against Seattle, and we will crush them. We then turn around on a short week for Black Friday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that still cannot figure out its quarterback situation and will be completely drained after a violent Pennsylvania rivalry game against the Eagles. We get another 9 days of rest before hosting the Miami Dolphins. Miami is completely rebuilding, drowning in the dead cap space of Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa. They traded away Jalen Waddle, who now plays for us and has a massive point to prove, and they will be limping into Denver with Malik Willis under center. After that, we head to New York to face the Jets for the 6th consecutive season. This is the only time we play a team coming off their bye, but they traded Justin Fields and are riding with Geno Smith. By Week 14, our ground game is going to utterly destroy them. We then bounce back to Vegas to play the Raiders on the road, turning Allegiant Stadium into our second home while they fully commit to tanking for a draft pick. The final 3 games are a gauntlet, but we hold all the cards for the number 1 seed. We host the Buffalo Bills on Christmas Friday. Buffalo will be on a short week, traveling halfway across the country after a brutal night game against the Chicago Bears. Remember last year's playoffs? We dropped 33 points on them without J.K. Dobbins, Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin, Brandon Jones, and Dre Greenlaw, and with Bo Nix playing on a literally broken ankle. They have a brand new head coach facing massive growing pains, and their division is much tougher now. We get another mini-bye before traveling to New England. The Patriots are an absolute mess, weighed down by the Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini drama. Drake May looked completely lost at the end of last season, and with 3 extra days of rest, we might officially eliminate them from playoff contention right there in Foxborough. Finally, Week 18, we close it out at home against the Chargers for the AFC West crown. By this point, the wildly different leadership styles of the eccentric, vaping Mike McDaniel and the straight-laced, khaki-wearing Jim Harbaugh will have completely fractured that locker room. The Chargers will be flying into the altitude, carrying the league's highest travel miles, exhausted from a grueling matchup against the Chiefs, and suffering from a massive negative rest deficit. The media can cry all they want about a tough schedule, but this is the absolute perfect roadmap for back-to-back number 1 seeds in the AFC. We have a ton to believe in, so get ready for a three-peat.